Today is, but we have not talked to you since Hartford. Take me through what you saw at the end of the second.
Yeah, every game requires different things that you need from your group, and it was just one of those situations where guys sticking up for themselves, and it's one of those ones, unless you're there and you feel it in the room, and just the guys sticking up for each other, and it's one of those ones you look back on the season that a huge together moment for the team, and it speaks to the group, and everybody stepped up for each other, and just to see the guys in the room after the second and after the game, especially coming off of a tough loss against a really good opponent. I said a lot about the group, and I respect them a lot for how they handled the situation, and it was a really good moment for our team.
You had another great performance from Brett Murray, who's now going to the All-Star Classic. First time in his career. What has he done right this season?
Yeah, Murr, I think you really got to watch Murr and to appreciate his game, and he's really good at the things that probably go unnoticed sometimes in a game. He's really good on the walls. He manages the game and the puck really well. He gets to the net front. I think you look at a guy his size, if probably 8 out of the 10 power play goals are all scored within a foot of the net, and he's a real calming presence. He shows big time poise and composure in certain situations, and just the year he's having, I think he's already have more points than he had last year. Is on pace for career highs in all categories. So he's been great, and it's great to see him get rewarded. He's been in the league for 5-6 years, and he's been a huge part of our team, and really happy for him.
You are first year in the American League, but I think at this point in the season you probably have a feel for it. You see how demanding it is for the players. Tonight's going to be his 300th game with this team. How difficult is that to achieve?
Yeah, when you start getting into the hundreds, there's a level of consistency you have to have as a pro. What he does away from the rink to take care of his body. Sometimes those, bigger guys. I played with Pat Maroon, so I know, those guys have to manage it a little differently because they're so big and powerful, and it's awesome. I didn't know that, but that's a lot of games, and hopefully he plays a lot more for us.
His 300th, you, I think, are going to have a guy play his first game with the Amherst. Is Obe Kubel expected in the lineup?
Yeah, he'll be in the lineup today. So, I spoke with him this morning. I have a lot of respect for him and what he's done in his career. There's not many people that get to walk around and say you want to stand the cup. He's a part of a locker room that, that's why everyone plays the game at that level to ultimately win. Every player goes through tough times. I'm sure he wants to be there. It's not an easy situation for him, but I just told him how I felt. I respect him a lot as a player. He's played on a lot of winning teams, and he's getting opportunity, I think, to get his confidence back. And we're really excited to have him. Everything I've heard about him, you don't play that long on that many successful teams to, not be a great character person. And we're excited to have him, and he'll be in the lineup tonight.
You plan on utilizing him? Special teams guy?
No, I mean, if you you got to be real careful with, I'm not going to play him 18, 19 minutes. I think he's played 21 minutes the last month. So it's hard for me to, I told him this morning, I was very honest with him, we're going to play him 5-on-5. And he hasn't been a part of it, but we play 4 lines. I mean, everybody's playing over 12, 13 minutes. I think it's really important for the group to have depth, and why we've had success. And if he's playing good, he'd probably get more ice time. But he'll get his number up to, probably double what he's used to playing. And I think you got to be real careful with. Hasn't played in 3 games the last month, a total of 21 minutes. You can't throw a guy out there and put him in a tough situation. It's hard mentally, physically, and no, he's playing with Dunner tonight, and Dunner's an easy guy to play with and should be a really good line. And like I said, I have a lot of respect for him as a player and what he's accomplished so far. Obviously, you never, as a player, there's a lot of emotions coming into it, getting sent down. It's human nature. He's played pro hockey a long time, so you got to respect that. But we're excited to have him.
Do you have? I'm guessing is Levi starting?
Yeah, he'll start tonight.
Levi is much younger. I mean, he's only 23 years old, but like he seems to be one of those guys that has the perfect mindset of an NHL player coming down to develop.
Yeah, no, he does. I think he loves it here. He wants to be here. You can control what you can control, but I think he'll. I think there's a. He knows he's the number one here. He plays a lot, and I'll get into Sandy after, but there's something to be said about carrying a team and playing on a winning team that's fighting for the division to be at the top of the division. There's a lot that goes into that, and I think I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he thrives in that environment. He wants to help our team win, and he's done a great job, and he's had a positive attitude. He works really hard every day, and I think with that being said, it's having a great partner in Sandy. Sandy's won 5 starts in a row. His numbers are great. Maybe he's had one. I mean, in the last probably month and a half, he's had one game he'd probably like to have back, the Charlotte game, but we weren't very good there. But he's done a great job. I think that's really important too, that when you're not getting starts like, probably once a week or once every other week, and to handle that, to accept your role, to be there for the guy that's playing more. And it's a great partnership. They both really work hard in practice, and you need to have 2 really good goalies if you want to have team success in this league.
We talked about Utica. Every time they come in, it's a last place team that has more than what the standings show. What have you thought of what they've done lately, especially with Hallinan up, Poulter up? They're still winning.
Yeah, I mean, they've won 7 out of 10 games. They've beat really good teams. It's a lot different team than we've seen in the past. They're playing really good hockey. They're dangerous on the power play. They're scoring a ton of goals. I mean, they went to Syracuse, probably arguably the hardest place to play in the league, 1-2-1. They're playing really good hockey right now, and we got to make sure, like every game in this league, you can't look at records. You can't look at. They got a really good lineup. Their first line center, when we saw him before, Schmelzer didn't have a goal. Now he's got 9, so he's playing really good. And it's they work hard, and we just got to make sure it's that we're competitive tonight, and we got a really big 3-game stretch before we go into break.
Yeah, when you look at have they changed anything defensively? They're not giving up nearly as much.
No, a few things are probably a little bit more. If you watch Sheldon Keefe's team play in the D zone, I would say earlier in the year they were probably a little bit more running around, but now they do a really good job of protecting the middle of the ice. Sometimes it tests your patience sometimes in zone, because they're going to give you the outside, and you got to really play a patient game and in attack when you can. But they've done a really good job. Their neutral zone has switched up a little bit. They don't give you if you look at their numbers off the rush lately, it's been really good. You got to put pucks behind them and get it on the forecheck. And they're really good on special teams, and they got guys that can score goals. So there'll be a big test for the group.